Everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I have our resident expert Lumi, about 4,000 damage. Lumi, go ahead and introduce her. Go just give a little hello.
Hello. How are you guys?
All right, I'm excited. I wonder if Lumi's excited because I mean this is
Yeah.
really big because everyone's always asking about 4,000 damage, and this Lumi, trust me. I mean, I know that pubs has been driving you insane, and so I have to ask you the first question right off the rip. 4,000 damage. Is it easier in ranked or regular matches at the moment?
So at the moment, I would say it's probably easier in lower ranks. So because like Apex has like a couple of seasons where the rank system has been really bad with like the hidden MMR stuff and all that stuff, like all the other things. But like now, since it's reverted pretty much to the season 13 rank system, which is like considered like one of the best, if not the best rank system Apex has ever had, lower ranks are typically easier besides the like first week of the season. But like say since like we're a couple weeks into the season now, where you can get on a Smurf account or even just your main account if you haven't played ranked and play bronze lobbies, pretty much like rookie lobbies, and have like a relatively easy time. A lot easier than like pubs, but like once you obviously get up into the higher ranked lobbies, like where you are as a player, you'll obviously struggle, you know, to get those higher damage games. So like you'll probably have an easier time in pubs.
Now the question I have, if it's easier in lower tier rank, let's go and say I think rookie, bronze, silver, and then gold is probably where it gets a little more complicated at the moment, right? What concerns do you have in pubs that ranked is actually easier right now? Like, how does that make you feel as a player thinking about that? Trying to get 4,000 damage.
I don't think pubs should be in the state it's in right now. Obviously I'm a higher skilled player than a lot of the average player base. But either way, that doesn't mean I shouldn't be able to go into pubs and like enjoy it, you know? And I think that like not being able to go into pubs and enjoy pubs is kind of bad for the game. And I feel like a lot of even like average players can probably like feel me on that. The way it works now, like before, Apex has always had EOMM, which is engagement optimized matchmaking. Which means that like say I go into a game, I do really good, my lobbies after that will be, you know, a little bit harder to compensate for me doing really good. That's not a bad thing. I think that's how, like, if you have SBMM or any matchmaking like system in your game, it should be like that. And what they did now is make it so say I, you know, drop into a game, I do really well, I get put in a higher skill bracket, which I have no problem with. But what comes with that is longer queue times, and you are unable to drop out of that skill bracket no matter how many times you die in a row. Because, you know, as we all know, the higher skill brackets have sweatier players, and sweatier players tend to 3-stack the game, and it becomes very unplayable, and it just makes you not want to play at all. And that in turn could affect casual players as well, because say a casual player, you know, has a game where he gets like a lot of kills, you know, or a new damage record, new kill record for themselves, they get stuck playing against people who they aren't really on tier with, and they're just getting stomped. And it kind of creates a problem that that Apex itself is trying to avoid, is having casual players fight people that are way better than them. And I think that's not good, because it just creates like a unhealthy pub environment and just makes it not fun at all. Like, I guess you'd be having fun if you just are like, you know, very new to the game, and it'd be really hard for you to get into those higher skill brackets. But for anyone who's like half decent at the game, who's been playing for a while, I feel like pubs just isn't like, it's unplayable at this point without having other people on your team to play with, or you just somehow get the easiest lobby of all time.
So there's a bit of luck there. You know, what's interesting is that across the board, because ranked doesn't have that skill-based matchmaking, like ranked is easier. So even if you're casual, you're going to have a really hard time trying to get 4,000 damage. And even if you do get the 4,000 damage, then congratulations, you've just been graduated up to harder lobbies. And therefore, it's just going to always be harder and harder and harder. And so even for a casual watching this, wanting to get your 4,000 damage badge or even 20 eliminations forever and ever, you're just going to have a really unfun time. And like you say, you have no issue being in the upper bracket. But I think casuals are, you got to comment down below, guys. That means that all of you, if you go for 4,000 damage, type in YouTube how to do it, and then you have any sort of relative success, you're boosted up, and therefore ranked is actually going to be your easier matches up until a certain point, right?
So Yeah, with pubs, it's doing with it. But pubs doing that, it's just not healthy for the game. Like, because like I said before, like the long queue times and like your inability to drop out of those brackets, it just makes so you're fighting consistently the hardest players in the game, pretty much, that are playing pubs at least.
So which one have you been enjoying more, pubs or ranked? Like, when you hop in, what do you do? What do you do to have fun right now?
Right now, since the rank system is really good, I've been enjoying ranked a lot, and it's just way more consistently fun. Because if I want to try, I'll like try really hard, you know, and like full calm with my team. I'll play ranked, and it's fun. It's enjoyable, other than the really bad cheating problem that's going on. But right now, ranked is more fun than pubs.
Now, what would be your wish of how you would want this to play out? Granted, having ranked be fun is a dub. I mean, I would say this is the best ranked we've ever had since season like 13, essentially, right?
Yeah.
What would you wish that was fixed, or how could you fix this, in your opinion?
They just need to make it. They just need to fix how the matchmaking works. Before, I think it was like season 16 or 17 was when they changed it, and they was never the same since. How Apex worked was there was certain skill brackets or skill buckets, whatever you want to call them, and it would be relative to like how good you were doing. Like, you'd be in the higher skill buckets if you were doing well, and the lower ones if you weren't consistently doing good. And that's how I think it should be. Because if I get on and I'm like, you know, it's a bad day, you know, sometimes you're just not hitting your shots, whatever. I don't want to have to be constantly fighting like the best players ever. I want to be playing against people who are, you know, obviously fit for how I'm doing. And I feel like that's like honestly the best way to do it, because it, you know, keeps people playing. So like I need them to change it back to how it was, because I feel like a lot of people get on pubs now and just get off in almost instantly, because they get on, they play one game, and they're like, oh, okay, it's an easier lobby, because everyone knows that your first game on Apex is like your easier lobby. That's how they reel you in. And then once you do good, you get placed against really good players consistently over and over and over again, and you're just not having fun no matter what you do. So I think they need to fix the matchmaking. Honestly, I think that's the only issue with pubs, is how the matchmaking works. Is when the matchmaking gets screwed up like this, it kind of in a way it causes people to snowball into the I have to 3-stack to compete, and in turn it just keeps on making the game worse, you know? It's like a never-ending cycle. It's like, oh, the 3-stacks are really bad now, so now I'm gonna have to 3-stack, and then other people feel the same, so now the game is just filled with 3-stacks. So if they ever like fix the matchmaking and made it so, you know, it's more relaxed, or how it was before, people wouldn't have to do that, and the game would become a lot healthier. I remember when they they fixed the matchmaking on the Revenant event.
Yeah.
Like around Halloween. That was extremely fun. The game was extremely fun. It was enjoyable. I am not even lying. I ended up doing a 24-hour stream because how much fun I was having.
Wow.
Because I haven't been able to enjoy that game like that in months up until that point. And then they changed it right back, and the game was just on fun again.
It's really interesting because, so the takeaways, guys, that I think that I can get here is that ranked is easier for 4,000 damage up until a point, and then pubs, your first game on is going to be a little bit easier. But honestly, if you have hit 4,000 damage, don't get discouraged, because the system is working against you. I have also felt that. I mean, gosh, maybe at the end zones, I guess, because you're poking, you could get that 4,000 damage, but then enjoy your next round, because if you do get that, you have to understand that 4,000 damage isn't necessarily common. And if it's not common, you're just going to get thrown in those lobbies, and it's just going to be an absolute nightmare. So Lumi, I have to ask you, top advice for casuals trying to get 4,000 damage in season 20. Do you recommend them trying, or like, I don't even know what to say. I'm curious. I'm going to pass it off to you. Top advice for trying to get 4,000 damage.
Like before, like like with how the people play now in pubs, and like my personal experience, it is extremely hard to get like higher damage games now. It is extremely hard. And what I'm like let me elaborate on that, because like it's it's not as easy as it used to be. I wouldn't say easy. It was never. I wouldn't say it's easy. It takes a lot of like hard work to get to the point where you're able to get 4Ks and stuff. But compared to earlier seasons, it's a lot harder because, like I said before, people are 3-stacking more to combat the fucking or to combat the SBMM and all that stuff and everything else. So people are gonna be playing a lot weirder. And you can't do it solo. Like, I don't remember the last time I played a solo trios and I won the game with like a 4,000 damage a game, or even like a 20, because how people play. Like before, you could like everyone was like, yeah, just make sure you isolate your ones, get that, stay back and poke. None of that matters anymore. Like, as sad as that is, like none of that matters at all. You can have the best weapons in the game, you have the best positioning, but a 3-stack who wants you dead will get you dead. Like, it doesn't matter.
So what do you do?
You get lucky. Like, it was a lot of luck before. Now it's like you can be as good as possible, and no matter what, you have to have luck. Unless you are literally aimbotting everyone or you just hit every single shot you shoot, you have to get lucky, because people are just playing so insane now. It's just so hard, and like pubs is just like not in a state that it's like, it's just, pubs isn't enjoyable right now. Like, no matter what you do to enjoy it, it's just like, it's just not. You can't.
I understand. Like, listen, it's tough out there. It's not easy, which is why I'm making this video, because at least they're walking away with some advice, because there's an easier way to get 4,000. But I have experienced the same difficulty in pubs, which is, I mean, I've been enjoying ranked a lot myself. And so, any final thoughts as we wrap up? And guys, you got to comment down below. What is your experience as well in pubs versus ranked? Because I mean, that's why I really brought this up, because a lot of people that are playing pubs are playing ranked now, which is, I guess, fascinating to see. So final thoughts, Lumi.
I have nothing really besides like I said, I think if Apex wants to make sure that casual players are protected and like they stay on the game, they revert back, because it's gonna happen where a good player gets into their lobbies. It happens. That's how every game is. And in order for it happens, and there's no really way around it. Like, sometimes I get into the lobbies with people who are bad, and those as of now, and guess why? Because those people probably had one good game and they're playing against people like me over and over again, and it probably would drive them away. If a casual player does good for one game and like, oh damn, I'm fighting really good players now, and they die off drop once or twice, and they're playing people they should be fighting again. That's how it should work. They get used to getting better in their own lobbies, and then they slowly fight better and better people, and not get overwhelmed with the people they're fighting. Because I'm gonna be honest, like, you can't just throw, like, if you throw a casual player like a silver player and like a pred lobby, they're not gonna learn much. They're just gonna get stomped over and over. You have to gradually work up to it. And if they're getting stuck in those skill brackets because they do good one game, they're not going to learn. They're just going to get stomped over and over and not have anything to learn off of. You know what I mean?
Makes sense. Well, everyone, stick with your fundamentals. Don't rush to a 4K, but at the same time, remember that ranked is easier at the moment. Lumi, thank you so much for the tipsy advice. Also raising your concerns. I mean, hopefully, maybe the player base, watching this video will agree. Hopefully, we'll see some change continue to happen in the game. Guys, don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe. Follow Lumi on all socials. It's going to be linked in the description down below, and we'll see you guys all in the next one.